On the show today, I've got some guests from 5 Days for the Homeless. If you haven't heard about it or seen it yet, then I guess you might have had your eyes closed on campus today or not made it near the UC or Fletcher Argue. So welcome to the show. We have Madison and Emily from Asper.
Yes, yeah.
Great. And are you both CSA members as well, the Commerce Student Association?
Yes, we are. Yeah, all Asper School of Business students are CSA members.
Oh, every student, eh? They're just automatically a member.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's organized. So tell us a little bit about your roles with 5 Days for the Homeless.
Okay, my name's Madison, and I am doing all the internal marketing. So if you see posters, that's me. Probably put up way too many, but like he said, otherwise you'd be blind if you didn't see them.
Yeah.
And then we have our participant here.
Yeah, so I'm Emily, and I am one of the 6 students sleeping outside for 5 days to raise awareness for youth homelessness.
And you're on day 2 right now.
We are on day 2, yes. Yeah, we got there on site outside of the UC at 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Wow, 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah.
I would have thought you start like fresh Monday morning, but...
No, yeah, we got our first night done on Sunday night, and when we showed up to the UC there was nothing there except for snow, so we had to clear that off and kind of build our shelter and go from there.
That's crazy. So you mentioned this is to raise awareness for youth homelessness. Do you have any kind of the info or stats on that, like how prevalent is youth homelessness in Manitoba or across Canada?
As for youth homelessness goes, about 1/3 of the entire homeless population is youth homelessness. When we define youth homelessness, we kind of define it between the ages of like 18 and 29, just for purposes. And the reason this population is large is a large part because Child Family Services ends at 18, and so a lot of the people end up homeless after that point.
Okay, so the reason why it doesn't go up until 18 is because they can get placed into a home or something.
Exactly.
And then they would just kick them out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
A little bit.
And it's also like a part of the campaign is like youth helping youth. So I mean, like I'm 20 and I'm kind of in that age range, so for us it means a lot more to be helping people our age who are kind of going through something that, you know, as university students, as people coming from, you know, homes currently, it's something that we kind of want to learn about and raise awareness for.
So by raising awareness, is this a fundraising campaign? Is it just purely awareness, or you're collecting goods?
It's fundraising and awareness. So awareness is a large part of like where the participants come in. They're sleeping outside for 5 days, just raising awareness within the campus. But then we also have donation stations all across the university. So that is for food, clothing, as well as funds. And then you can also donate online.
And so I've seen the donation station in Fletcher Argue in the hallway. Yeah. I think it's Fletcher Argue, right?
Yeah.
And then right outside UC on those stairs where the participants are.
Yeah.
Are there other ones?
Yeah, there are. There's another one in Drake. There's one in the science buildings in Arms. And then there's also one in agriculture.
Agriculture. Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of got like all the areas there.
Yeah.
And so you're looking for canned goods, clothing, money.
Yeah.
Is it used clothing's cool? It's any kind of clothing?
Yeah.
Like gently used is
gently used.
Yeah. And then like our fundraising goal this year is 20,000. Last year we raised just over that. So we're hoping to kind of meet our goal, but you can also donate online at 5days.ca/Manitoba.
Yes. Cool. And if they're on Facebook, I believe I saw that you had a Facebook page as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So they could just creep out 5 Days for the Homeless Winnipeg, and then it'll come up.
We are just bursting at the seams with social media. I haven't seen any of it because I don't have access to it, but I'm told.
Hey, U of M and Student Life have been tweeting on it. And
there you go.
Wonderful. We appreciate all the tweets.
Yes, we don't really know what I'm doing. Like I'm the one doing it. I'm like, I just learned recently that you have to hit @ if you wanted to send it to people, as opposed to hashtag people.
Solid.
So learning every day.
Yeah,
it's okay.
So how's the experience been so far for you, Emily, sleeping outside?
You know, people keep asking, like, how are you guys feeling? Aren't you guys so cold? And I mean, yeah, like it's uncomfortable. We're not used to sleeping outside. I mean, we built a pretty nice shelter. I think if business doesn't work out, we could be, you know, architects or engineers because we like insulated our walls and we made it kind of nice with newspaper. But I mean, it's a really small sacrifice. Like, all of us were talking this morning when we woke up, we know we're going home on Friday at 4. Like, we are done, and we get to go home and have a shower and enjoy all the comforts of our homes. And to actually be homeless, you don't know when that time is coming. So we kind of have a goal, but it also makes us aware of the struggles that actually occur. We always we've had a lot of interviews, a lot of media around us for the past 2 days, and in general, I think people are asking us, are you guys trying to simulate homelessness? And we're not at all. We kind of refer to ourselves as temporarily displaced, because we're only here for 5 days, just to start a conversation.
Mm-hmm. So to catch people's attention you can't see it because it's radio, but there's bright orange shirts that each participant wears. So
we're pretty noticeable, yeah, and we're pretty loud too.
Yeah, and they're also going to be bundled up pretty tight.
Yes, yeah.
So when you're saying you're not simulating, but I can't remember the word you just used, even though it just happened.
Temporarily displaced.
Yes, enacting being temporarily displaced. Are you allowed to bring food with you, or is how's that work with the eating?
The rules are pretty strict. So basically, any food that we consume has to be donated to us, which is kind of different, because when you're a student, you're kind of used to, we know we bring food or we'll buy food, but we can't do any of that now. So it's just we never know when we're going to eat next. But people are amazing, and we almost have people coming all the time. So we actually encourage people to please donate either funds or non-perishable, so we can actually give it to Ray, because we do well, we do okay.
And who's Ray?
Ray is Resource Assistance for Youth, and that's the charity and the not-for-profit that all of our funds are going to. So everything goes to Resource Assistance for Youth. Okay. Yeah.
So I guess if you're listening, then you're okay for food. You don't need any sandwiches or donuts or coffee.
No, please don't. Please don't. Yeah, please donate to Resource Assistance for Youth. They need it more than we do.
And so what are the other rules? I think I heard that you can't use cell phones. So even if you were starving at 11 a.m., or 11 p.m., sorry, you couldn't just text someone and be like, bring food, so hungry.
I can't call my mom and say, Mom, come here.
What about a payphone? Can you panhandle for a quarter to call?
We cannot spend any money. It's just not allowed. Yeah, and then we can't shower, so I will not be showering for 5 days. So we're on day 2 right now. I'm trying to think if there's any other major rules. No social media, no showers, donations for food.
They have to make sure that they spend every night outside. It's not like they can camp inside University Center.
Yeah, and is there a time limit for how long you're allowed to be inside? Let's say you were to step in to get
well, we're supposed to attend all of our we're supposed to attend all of our classes. So we go to class we would normally, and we fulfill all of our academic commitments, which is kind of weird going into class when you haven't really slept the night before and you're just kind of a little groggy and not as sharp as you used to be.
Sounds like a lot of university students.
I know, I was about to say, wait a minute.
Talk to the architecture students, I think.
Yeah. So we're supposed to attend all of our classes, and then we have a curfew at night, so we have to be at the shelter by 9 p.m., I believe.
Oh, so you can't even go out and have fun either?
No.
Yeah.
Your own fun. You can play board games, right?
We have a lot of fun. Yeah, we have some sharing circles, some bonding in our little shelter. We have a good time.
If someone dropped off a deck of cards or Monopoly, could you use that?
Yeah, we could do whatever. Yeah.
Has anybody done that yet?
Not as of yet, but we find ways to entertain ourselves. One of the participants, Christina, she has taken up speed dating.
Oh.
So we have some milk carts set up for people.
So you can speed date the participants. So you can
absolutely.
speed date somebody who's temporarily displaced.
For a donation, we are available all the time, and 5 minutes, we can do a speed date and maybe a connection.
Oh, wow. Tons of services. That's good to know. And so you're allowed to pop in briefly to the university, you can use the washrooms here, you can go to a water fountain and get tap water?
Yes, we can, yeah.
That's good. So I'm thinking for the raising awareness part as well, what kind of other media or outreach have you gotten from this?
They've gotten so much media attention. I am just blown away. We made the cover of the Winnipeg Free Press.
Yeah.
And then in addition, CTV has come out, City TV has come out, a photographer for the Winnipeg Sun, and I think he does a couple other ones. I know someone's in another interview right now. And so it's been really great. It's really great to see the community really support this campaign, because it's a fantastic organization that all this money and clothing and food is going to. Yesterday we had a speaker series, and one of the youth who actually used Ray's facilities came out and spoke to some of us. And it was just like mind-boggling, just that, like, seeing her on the street, I would never, ever guess that she had once been homeless and once not known what she was going to do with her life and heavily addicted to drugs and stuff. And now to see her, like, finishing her high school education, planning to go for a 5-year degree.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions, too, about, like, homeless people that you always
sure.
hear those negative opinions like, oh, it's their fault they're homeless and they don't want to do anything to get out of it. But pretty sure if you were to ask most people in that situation, they wouldn't have chose to be there, and they don't want to be there.
Well, part of this campaign is kind of breaking down that indifference and those stereotypes. Like, we've had a couple we get a lot of visitors, but we've had a couple already, and one in particular who just kind of like touched everyone's hearts. He told us that he was homeless and that now he's at the University of Manitoba and he's getting a degree, and it was something like, if I saw him, walking down the street, I never would have thought, but he has, a story to share with us, and it was really touching. Another misconception that we talk about all the time is, a lot of people think that, why can't this homeless person go get a job? Like, they're just being lazy. But in reality, to get a job, you need a SIN number. And to get a SIN number, you need a permanent address. And if you are homeless, you don't have those things. So there's a lot of barriers to be able to, obtain employment.
Yeah.
And actually, one thing that I wanted to say was on Thursday, we have an amazing sponsor, Birchwood Automotive Group, and they are going to be on campus, and we're going to do mock job interviews with the participants. So all of the participants are going to go in, and we're going to do a job interview to kind of show, after 4 days of not sleeping well and not, having showers and going in, dressed like we are, how that kind of affects your perception in an interview and how hard it is to really put your best foot forward in a situation.
Yeah, I think those are good points too. Even outside of just a SIN number, if you don't have an address, what can you put for communications on your resume, cover letter?
Exactly.
You probably don't have a phone number, because if you're homeless, I don't think you can afford a cell phone or a home phone.
Yep.
And then it comes into if you can't afford the nice clothing, the cleaning, and then like appearance is everything in interviews sometimes, right? So
Exactly.
how can people get a hold of you, communicate? How can you present yourself in a way to get a job mentally, physically, with your appearance and clothing? So there's a lot of barriers to that.
Yeah. And just something we talked about yesterday, too, was just the fact that it's not that these people don't want a job. Like they do, but because of those barriers. And someone used an example of, think of someone who's panhandling for 8 hours a day. Like, they have a full-time job, they're panhandling for 8 hours a day. Then once they're done, they then pick up all their stuff and go set up their house. It's not like they go home like we do and sit and watch TV for 4 hours.
So you hear those terrible stories that, like, I hate hearing this, people in Toronto or bigger cities who are making tons of money off panhandling, then they go home and, like, they're just taking away what could have been gone to people who need it, give a bad image to people who need it, and then create the stereotypes that we have.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Oh, you and me both.
And so is this just a Manitoba initiative or a U of M initiative, or is this like national?
This is national. Yeah, there's 27 schools right now, predominantly business schools, participating in this campaign to raise funds and awareness for respective organizations in cities. And this is the same week across? Same week across, yeah. This is the 5th year that the University of Manitoba has been involved with the campaign.
And what's that connection with business schools?
You know what? It started out of the University of Alberta, and they kind of brought the campaign forward and kind of came up with the idea, and then they presented it to the other business schools, who then just kind of latched onto it, and then we've kind of gone from there. Like, we try our best to, although the Commerce Students Association, has the chairs for the campaign, we try to make it a University of Manitoba initiative, because we really want as many people as involved as possible. That's interesting. So it's nationally, then Ray would be a national organization as well? No. Or that's a local? It's just within Winnipeg. So all of our funds go to Resource Assistance for Youth in Winnipeg. Okay. Yeah. And then each university is their prerogative who they're going to donate to? Yeah. Exactly. That's interesting. Yeah, and starting in Alberta and then doing Winnipeg, I feel like these are harsher cities to be homeless in. If there's not enough shelters for you, winters here can be pretty brutal. Yeah. Yeah. And you're only getting a little taste of that. I mean, we've got kind of warm weather. It's not too bad. Yeah, like we could have gotten worse, I think. But, it's Winnipeg, so March, who knows what that could be. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's like a blizzard. You never know. So, has that been difficult to deal with at night? Like, whether there's like cold wind or anything? Or it definitely cools down at night. Like, during the day, we've been getting some sun, which is nice. But like I said before, like, we kind of expected it, so we kind of huddle up as a group and we push through, and we're only here for 5 days, so I think that's a pretty small sacrifice for what we're actually doing, the cause that we're supporting.
And then by the end of the week in your classes, you'll probably have like a visible circle of people not sitting near you.
I feel like I'm going to have to sit somewhere like far away, I know, it's going to get rough. I already feel a little grimy, a little weathered, so.
And you can't even have a campfire where you are either.
No, that would not be allowed at University of Manitoba. That would be an issue.
Yeah. Oh boy. Was there anything else you wanted to let listeners know about 5 Days for the Homeless, how they can get engaged?
We're always needing volunteers. If you guys want to even donate like an hour of your time, find us on Facebook, talk to one of the participants, anyone. Like, we're willing to take you along with us. What
would a volunteer do? Is that kind of like staffing a table?
Yeah, that would be exactly it. We'll give you a little donation box. You can walk around and be like, hey, do you want to donate for 5 days? We'll catch you up on all your knowledge. You'll know what's going on. And so they can do that. The other thing is we've got an event tomorrow night at the Hub. We've got 5 acts for the homeless. 5 different local musicians and
there's a magician. I'm very
excited. I know. Are you allowed to go? Is it going to be past 9?
Well, we're going to do shifts. The participants are going to stop by, and then we're going to kind of make the rounds and talk to as many people as we can. But then we will be going back to the shelter. Yes.
So yeah, that's at 7 p.m. tonight, and so tickets are $10. They'll be sold at the door, as well as they're sold in the Drake lobby right now.
Okay, cool.
So
$10, and you can get a sweet show.
Yeah, some food.
Oh, food too.
And all the money goes to Ray.
Nice. Well, that sounds like a fun night.
Yeah, it should be good.
So if you want to go to a nice concert show, see some musicians and musicians, come out to that. As well, if you're looking for a volunteer opportunity, check out their Facebook or their website. Thank you so much, Madison and Emily, for joining me today.
Thanks.
I hope it was
happy to be here.
fun.
Yeah, it was great.
And those listeners, get involved, get engaged in the conversations happening on campus. We're going to go to a quick tune as you hear the microphone squeaking. I got some I Don't Mind by Age of Electric. This is going out to the 5 Days for the Homeless participants because they don't mind the cold.
Yay.